Well, hey, folks, and welcome to the More Summer 2020 Adventures Day 31, July 26, 2020. It was a good day. Been a long day. A little over 6 hours on the road. Left Las Vegas this morning, and well, I'll tell you where we are a little bit later. But listen, I got some important business to take care of. A lot of you have been asking that know us, where's Mom? Where's Chrissy? Well, let me tell you what. I actually convinced her to make a guest appearance. Okay? So, there she,
Hello.
she's really enthused, as you can tell. I love you.
Love you too.
Okay. Bye bye. Wave bye, Mom. But, yeah. Really, see, folks, I am married. Okay? I got a beautiful wife. I really do. All right. But hey, listen, I've got over 130, 140 pictures today. I only post 80 of them, including this video. So that makes that 49. I will just randomly pick. But there's some things I want to point out about the pictures. Okay, some of them you're not seeing anything but land. Okay, but some of those mountains are like 100-mile away, and you're seeing them. All right, that's how open, clear, vast this area is. A lot of it is that desert. Okay, even where we are right now. Oh, that's right. Hey, we are in Yerington, Nevada. All right, we are in a little town or a little suburb, if you will, section of Yerington of the Mason Valley. Called Weed Heights. Back when we lived here, Anaconda Mine, our mining corporation, owned this, and in fact, I guess they still do. But anyway, it's out of operation. It went out of operation in June of 1987, I think it was. But anyway, I got a picture of the placard. You can read that. But it's an open pit copper mine, and where we are now in the RV park was non-existent. I've got a picture of the house that I used to live in. All right, a little one-bedroom quadplex, if you will. You know, like instead of a duplex, it's four of them. All right. My dad was a minister here in town. He was building on the church, literally. I mean, physical building. Okay, and also working here at the mine, and all of that. Being a pastor, working on the church, working here at Anaconda. It was here in Yerington in 67, I believe it was, 66. He had his first heart attack. Okay, so it was, but this is where we lived. All right, and this is why I wanted to come back. I wanted to show Chrissy one of the places where I lived. So today we left to Las Vegas this morning, right just a little bepore 10 o'clock. So figure 10 o'clock. And we got here a little after 4. That was with one fuel stop. We stopped in Tonopah and filled up. There's a thing about being out west, especially in the wide open areas, not just Nevada, but Utah, Wyoming, Montana, Nebraska, all of them, the Midwest and Western states. Cities have a tendency to be far, or towns to be far away, far apart. All right, so it's a good thing. I try to do it anyway. A half a tank, I fill up no matter where we are. Definitely out here. All right, definitely out here. So, like I say, just that one fuel stop. So a little before 10, we left Vegas. Actually, I guess it was after 10 when we got out of the city limits, but we left the RV park just a little before 10, and we got here like at 4:10 or something like that, 4:15. So, all that being said, it was a good trip. Like I say, right around 6 hours. Some of the pictures, like I say, just show the openness, all right, the vastness. Others are just, Chrissy was just taking pictures of the different rocks, the mountains, how they have different rocks in the face of it. Some of the areas were being mined, some of them were not. There's one area that looks like a miniature Bonneville salt flats, but it's just sand, it ain't salt. Okay. There was, you're going to see a couple of signs saying Death Valley, to the left. Death Valley was just on the other side of the mountains, okay, from where we were, Death Valley, California now. But some of the pictures, as you get closer to here, around Hawthorne. Hawthorne is a large military munitions depot for all the branches. All right, it's ran by the Army, but it's for all the branches. And right at its edge is Walker Lake. Walker Lake is 11 miles long and 5 miles wide and 68 feet deep. Okay. It has no exit, all right, but it's fed by the Walker River. Now, due to the agriculture that has grown up around here, a lot of the water is being diverted from the river into the irrigation, and thus the lake has fallen in its depth or its height, whatever you want to call it. But like I say, there is no exit, all right, so the water just seeps into the ground. Or evaporates, more likely it evaporates. But it's funny when it's, of course today it wasn't too bad. It was like in the low 90s. But you see lots of signs saying chains or snow tires required, or may be required. And then right after that, there's an area where you can pull off and put your chains on if you don't have snow tires. And I can remember growing up, not necessarily here, but, my dad having to put chains on, So you think of the desert and it doesn't snow. Oh, it does in this area, or especially around Hawthorne. But then after we left Hawthorne, we came, you'll see a red sign saying stop, no visitors and whatnot. That's from the Paiute Nation, the Paiute tribe, because of COVID. All right, and we go through Schultz, which is the Indian reservation, or the town on the reservation between Hawthorne and Erington. And then you go back into, the desert hills, desert mountains, and then all of a sudden you come around the bend and over the crest of the hill, and there's this lush green Mason Valley, all right, which the Walker River flows through. And this is where I went to school in the 6th and 7th grade. The main crop here is onions and garlic, as well as alfalfa. I've got some pictures here of the stockyard, or what's remaining of the stockyard. It's no longer in place or in operation. It was quite large when we lived here, and it wasn't a butcher factory. It was a stockyard. They brought them in, they fattened them up, they put them on the trucks, and they sent them away. All right. It's no longer here, but you'll see some pictures, and hopefully I'll get them in correct order. I'll show you the main part of the stockyard and the corrals and all that, and then I kind of like pan down to the right, and then you're going to see some trailers, some houses, and then I think an RV, of like a fifth wheel, and then some trees. When we lived here, that whole area was all stockyard. Now, where those houses and everything, that was stockyard. It wasn't anything like that. I took a picture of where we used to live in Mason before we moved to Weed Heights. The house that we lived in is gone. It's been replaced. The house that we lived here in Weed Heights is right behind the RV. I went and knocked on the door and asked if I could take a picture. And the lady was very, very obliging. She said, "Oh, yes, please, blah, 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 blah," And we talked a little bit and told her when we lived there. And she was well thrilled that, somebody from the past. I don't know if that was good or bad, but okay. But she was a charming lady, a little more elder than I am, but she was a sweetheart, and she was very happy that I would ask permission. Okay, but that's where I was reared, so I got to do it. There are some other pictures. We went by the intermediate school where I went to school, which was 2 blocks down from the swimming pool. Folks, we left here 53 years ago. The swimming pool is still there. The intermediate school is still there. The gym that we had PE class across the street from the elementary school is still there. The playground that we played in is gone. Now it's a high school parking lot, but the high school is still there. Okay. I was just blown away that after 33 years, and it wasn't new when we were here. All right, so I don't know when it was built, but it's still here. Especially the swimming pool. It wasn't open, of course, but it was still here. Went into the Indian colony they have here in town, where my dad's church was. I found where I thought it may have been. All right, but there's been so much changes in the colony that it's hard to tell. Maybe tomorrow I go back, I can find an elder that will be able to tell me where it was, but I'm not sure. Okay, and it may be something lost, but I was able to go back there anyway. So it was nostalgic. All right, it was taking my wife back and showing her where, hey, this is where I used to catch crawdads in the creek. Well, actually the river. And I was talking to a high school student over at the high school. In fact, his dad's a baseball coach. I saw him on the field, so I stopped and talked with him. And he says, Coach, because I told him I had been coaching. And he says, Coach, we still do that. We go down there and catch 40 or 50 at a time. So that was 53 years ago. So some things never change. But that was good. We're going to be here for a while. We hope to be able to go over to Virginia City, and do the tourist thing over there. It may or may not be feasible, but it was. It was an enjoyable trip. The wind blew a little bit. Like I say, we've got some pictures of dust devils. Some of you may or not know what a dust devil is. Basically, it's a miniature tornado. Okay. And when we lived here, it flipped the van that my mom and I were in. Okay, broke her foot and cut my arm. All right, so they can be, strong, but these, and we went through some areas where the wind definitely pushed the 31-foot sail that we call an RV. All right, but it was a good drive, good roads. I can't complain about the roads. And it. But it was windy, crosswinds and whatnot, and I say you can see the dust devils and all that kind of stuff. But excuse me, saying all of that, it's still. It was. I enjoyed the trip. I really did. I can't say enough about it. Really, I was anxious to get here. I've been wanting to get here for years, and this trip has made that an opportunity to be a reality. I say there's been some changes in the city, and then some things, like I said, the school and the high school and everything, they're all still there. Some things haven't changed. My old house I used to live in here in Wheat Heights is still there. So. But having said all that, folks, I don't want to keep you up too. I've already been ringed on for 14 minutes. Hey, listen, folks, today's scripture is Isaiah 40:29. He gives power to the weak, and to those who have no might, he increases strength. And the short version is, the Lord gives strength to those who are weary. Isaiah 49, or 40:29. And a lot of times when we're going through life, we can't handle this, we can't handle that. You're right, we can't. But God can. And God will give us the strength to see us through, whatever the case may be. Variety of things, right? And each of us have a different situation going on in our lives, and it doesn't matter what it is. If we call upon God, He will answer us. He will give us the strength. The scripture says so. And He gives power to the weak, and to those who have no might, He increases strength. All right. So if you think you're too weak and too mild and can't make this or can't make that, turn to the Lord, put your faith in Him, say, Lord, it's in your hands, and let it go. Don't give it to Him and then take it back. All right? It don't work that way. It'll never get fixed. All right? You got to let it go. You got to let it go. Give it to God and ask Him for strength. He, it's like that poem about the footprints in the sand. When there was one set, when I was carrying you. All right, He'll take care of us, folks. You be blessed. I'm really thrilled about being in some of my, like I say, I was only in the 6th and 7th grade, so there's a lot that I don't know, but I have some images, and so we're going to explore some of those tomorrow, folks. You be blessed. You take care. God bless. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye now.